All right, what is going on, Banter fam? Welcome into today's edition of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle. And on Wednesday's edition, I am super excited today to be joined by an ultra special guest, I might say. The co CEO of Ultra, Nicholas, is going to join me today. We're going to talk everything Ultra. We're going to talk top to bottom from the crypto gaming space, everything that Ultra has on the way. We're going to go through their roadmap, talk the marketplace as far as the Ultra games, the unique marketplace. We're going to look at the blockchain. We're going to look at the exclusive games, the tournament platform. There's so much to dissect with one of my favorite projects in the space. So I'm super excited to get into it today. So without further ado, let's get in the game.
T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
If you ain't here to hustle, why is you here? But if you here to hustle, the moon is near. It's Crypto Banter, not financial advice. If you don't listen, what's the cost, what's the price? This ain't a game, put you on game. I know you gon' play, but ain't a percent. If you ain't here to hustle, why is you here? But if you here to hustle, the moon is near. It's Crypto Banter, not financial advice. If you don't listen, what's the cost, what's the price? This ain't a game, put you on game. I know you gon' play, but ain't a play. If you get lost, show you the way.
All right, and let's waste no time. Let's go ahead and bring Nicholas onto the show. Nicholas is the co-CEO of Ultra. I'm super excited to have you join me on the show today. How is the day going so far?
Hey there. Yeah, really great. Actually, it's getting to the end of the day here in Europe. But yeah, so far so good. Thanks for having me on the show.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm happy you were able to make a little time and join me. As I mentioned, I absolutely love everything going on with Ultra and just everything around the corner. The roadmap has me super bullish. So just excited to kind of chop it up with you. And as we spoke about, it's one thing for me to talk about the project, but when I can ask you a little more finite questions and you can kind of give a little behind the scenes look at what's really being built out, what the visions of the project are, I think it's just super helpful. So just to kind of set the stage for anyone who might not know your background or kind of when Ultra originated. So if you want to kind of let people in on your experience in the blockchain and the gaming space, and then when did Ultra come into fruition, I would say.
Yeah, it sounds good. Definitely. I would say in terms of blockchain, so I've been following blockchain since 12 years now, so 2010. The sort of web mining back in the days, when it was one Bitcoin a day, which hopefully isn't the case anymore. But yeah, and so I've done a lot of those businesses in the past with David that you see here, which is my co-founder. He's co-CEO and co-founder of the company, and basically we've been in the game space for pretty much 15, 20 years now. Initially we were like Counter-Strike players, and then started to build companies together. So we had like mobile game studio. In China, PC game studio as well. This one was building a AAA FPS, so first-person shooter game that got acquired by Kingsoft, one of the big guys up there. After that, we also had like monetization strategy companies. So how do you actually make the business around the game? So improving the conversion, generating more revenue for those games. A lot around the free-to-play waves, some psychology fun as well with dopamine increase, but this happened,
Right.
A lot of it actually is pretty applicable to play to earn game. And after that, we had also a game console company, which was built in partnership with AMD. That was a Chinese government-backed company. A lot of fun, and actually part of it is creating a distribution platform, right? Because you basically make the hardware, which is the box, and then you have the software on it, which is a distribution platform like Steam in the end.
Right.
So we had that experience, and then around 3.5, 4 years ago, we decided to launch Ultra. Ultra has been around since quite some time now because we did develop a lot. What you see out there is a part of the iceberg, but essentially, the people we managed to get on board are also really exceptional. Like the CTO, for example, Mike Dunn, he used to be the CTO of Dell, Time Warner, Hearst, and large corporates. Ed Moalem is also pretty seasoned guy. So he used to be head of Apple Games, Google Games unit. And basically the whole team, we have about 80 people now full time, which are working hard on developing the product, but also started working on partnerships, marketing, and different angles now that we are very close to releasing a part of our products. So that's going to be a fun time. And yeah, we are spread across the world today, with the main office in Tallinn, Estonia, and then with Paris, Bordeaux, and also now a team in the US as well.
That's amazing. Yeah, I love and whenever I did some background on the team and even in some initial research of the project, and it's super impressive. The not only the gaming experience, but like you said, you've worked on monetization services, which all goes hand in hand into this play to earn world that we're in, because it's an economy just like anything else out there. And I love the experience, and the team's got that all encompassing background to get something like this done. And I guess we could start with this before we dive into the solution that Ultra provides, right? But I guess I know this had to be pretty big news back in October when it came around, whenever Valve had banned blockchain and NFT games on Steam. I know I myself was already parading that Ultra is the best fit for a replacement for Steam or a competitor for Steam on the blockchain. And I kind of liken y'all's project to the biggest competitor in that aspect. So what did this news set off as far as like internally, right? I'm sure that this made y'all triple down on everything that y'all were doing, right? And just be like, well, this is even more so our market to take over. So what did Valve's move here kind of influence y'all to maybe either keep putting more pressure on, or maybe even double down more onto some of your actions?
Yeah, I would say in terms of Valves, they already had, like Steam is definitely the largest distribution platform out there by far.
Yeah.
Now they have a very old model, which was really great. Back in the days when they started, I mean, sure, they're the first at doing digital distribution, which was amazing back then. But they have very few games with a lot of users, so there's a lot of value for those games. This started to decrease over the time, because obviously you have more and more games developed, because it's more and more easy to develop games as well.
Okay.
So you have like 400 games, 500 games a month, which obviously makes it not want you to pay 30% anymore, right? For just
Correct.
being there, like Apple Store or others. And that's been challenged a lot recently, right? So we first had this angle that, yep, we need to address this. The second one was the fact you can't resell your game today. Valve also had issues, in France, because you can't resell your games, that's super legal in a sense, but it's hard to do, right?
Yeah.
So we tackled that as well. We're like, okay, that's great. And then when we heard, okay, they are not accepting blockchain, we're like, it sort of makes sense for them, for their business model, because they don't have the technology stack to be able to get a percentage of whatever happened in those games.
Right.
So usually they have a finite number of users. If those users are spending money in the games where they can make money, that's great. If they spend the same amount of time in other games, they're actually not making that money and losing money in addition. So why would I accept anybody, right? So I wasn't a big surprise, because they just didn't have the technology to take advantage
Right.
of such Web3 next level solutions. So sure, we were like, okay, great. We had obviously a lot of people asking us, hey guys, I was planning to publish on Steam. Can I do it on your platform? Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, because it's very different from Steam. If you check, there's Steam, there's Epic Games, which are right now the two largest in a sense. But Epic Games isn't a self-publishing platform, so you can't just go there and put your games out there. You have to chat with them. They manage it. They put your game. They manage everything for you, so you're not
Right.
in control. Steam is a self-publishing platform, so you can actually control your content much easier. But it's a nightmare for any game developer. If you're a game developer, you know definitely what I'm talking about.
Right.
So when we provided a solution like that to the game developers and publishers, it was just then, okay, that's always what we dreamed about, because it's super simple to use. I can patch my games, I can upload my content. It's not like G2A or any like key reselling website. It's a fully fledged platform with the SDK, the distribution pipe, the CDN, everything you can expect from a Steam, but on the blockchain.
Yeah, and what I love is the incentives y'all are providing these studios and these devs because in traditional games, right? When I take a game, let's just say, I guess we come from a different generation of games where you waited outside the GameStop for the new Call of Duty launch at midnight, right? They don't do that anymore these days. But when I would used to take a game back up to GameStop, they're just giving me a little bit of money, and the game studio didn't make a they're not getting any profit from the resale of their game, even though it's technically being resold, right? There's market value there for that game. It's being transacted somewhere. So I love where y'all are building in legit incentives with the secondary marketplace for these developers because that's not ever really been incentivized. And the blockchain provides the technology to take care of that. And this is all interoperable through the UOS chain, right? This is where this is all going to be built out through, right? On the UOS blockchain.
Yeah, and essentially this also double down on the marketing side of things because you can imagine that right now how it works that you're making your marketing for your game, you do spend a lot of money initially, so you do a lot of sales, and after you stop more or less your marketing because it's just going down with time. And the fact you have the secondary market, it means that after some time, those users can start selling those games. So they will speak about the game again because they're like, hey, I really enjoyed this game. I'm putting it up on sale. This is why I liked it. So they have incentive to speak some more about these games,
Yeah.
which is great because it's free marketing for the game devs. So they can make extra sale. But in addition, if those users sell the game, they get their cut as they design initially. So they're in control as well of how do they want um, the secondary market to act based on their business model, because every game publisher is different. They have different games, different lengths of those games, different price, different regions. So all of that is to be addressed. Like for example, if your game you resell it and you purchase it in China at half the price, you can't resell it in the US at the same price. Otherwise,
Right.
that creates a problem. So you need a blockchain which has all those functionalities that we developed, like the geofencing, for example. It looks like simple and fine, but actually when you work with large corporates, they have those problems the same as we have. So which means you thought you could work with them, actually you cannot because you don't have all these kind of functionalities. So usually when we go to them and discuss to make business, they're like, okay, sure, let's go to corporate. We might have problems through the legal, compliance, but every time it works because they're like, okay, you guys tick all the boxes that we need to protect our IP for the DRM, for updating the game easily. If we want, to only make our game available in a specific region because another publisher is handling that for us in that region. We can do it, which is unheard of. You can't do that today on blockchain. Usually, you don't have any solution for that.
Right.
So everything that has been developed is actually applying for the games, but also for any type of NFTs. And now you can work with entertainment, comics, anime, movies, anybody that actually benefit from that because a lot of
Yep.
people actually benefiting from this kind of tech. So that's why we decided really to start from the ground up and build our technology stack, which includes the blockchain. So initially it was forked from EOS.io, but heavily modified to remove all the problems that they had, but keeping the C++, code, because right now most of the blockchain are using a specific language, so it's very hard for any game dev to just get in and use it. C++,
Right.
every game dev is using C++. They know that. All right.
Yeah.
So it allows them to for an easy transition. They can actually make the game using the tech, distributing the game. They can understand the whole pipe and benefit from it. They have like faster revenue. They get the money much faster. They are incentivized to bring their users there instead of on Steam. Because if they bring people on Steam after doing their marketing, they just earn 70%. When here
Right.
you can earn up to 88%. So what do?
Yeah.
I'm spending
I
my
think it's
marketing money. I'd rather get most money out of it, right?
Yeah, honestly, I think that the developer incentives speak for themselves. So like you have the 100%, you have the box checked for builders and game devs and publishers. But let's move over to the roadmap here because I think this is where it gets exciting for the player, for the consumer, for the people who are excited for what's around the corner for Ultra, right? So you've already established here's how we're going to get games in the door. We've established how we're going to get these studios to come in and talk with Ultra about getting in on our distribution protocol, putting your game on Ultra Games and taking advantage of the structure and the secondary marketplace and all the incentives that you give. But then for the player, we see so many things across the board here, from the unique marketplace with the NFTs, which we'll get into. And we'll start here with Ultra Games, because we'll backtrack here, because there's a couple key points I want to talk about, because I think that there's so much intrigue around a couple points on the roadmap that maybe were new, right? When y'all put them out, people had some questions about. But Ultra Games is straightforward, guys. So when we're talking about being a Steam competitor, this is what we mean right here. And can you kind of explain, right now y'all have about how many games slated to launch? 30, probably 30 something?
Right now, what you see is about 30 games.
Okay.
But we signed around 150, 160 game publishers. So all of those publishers usually have many more than one game.
Churn out many games, correct?
So yeah,
so I love
that's really 30 games. That's what we selected initially, and we still have a lot to unveil. But yeah, just if I pick one of our partner, I'm just thinking about one of them. They already have just themselves over like 800 games, just them. So it doesn't mean everybody has this many games, but it means in terms of content, there's like plenty of to bring.
Right.
And it's usually, it's like the traditional games, like what you are playing today, but also the blockchain games. So some also are blockchain based, so they have play-to-earn mechanics. We obviously have a lot of people coming to talk to us because they want to be distributed. And we can distribute, the ultra-based blockchain games, but we can also distribute any type of blockchain-based games, and they can take advantage of our functionalities. Obviously, we also have, we are working on some. We already have actually a bridge working from Ethereum to Ultra for the fungible tokens, which work for our token, but for any tokens, right? And that can be also applied soon for NFTs. So we are working on that as well. When NFTs can come from Ethereum or Polygon or
that's so awesome,
anywhere, and be brought up to Ultra, so they can benefit from all the advantages of the ecosystem. Because to go back to what you were mentioning as a player, you obviously have the interest to come on the platform to purchase your games because you can resell them after. So that's straightforward. But in terms of value prop, is that you just come to Ultra and you get access to anything you need as a gamer. You don't need to open another website. You don't need to register elsewhere. If you want to play a tournament, you have the tournament platform. If you want to watch live stream, you have the live streams. If you want to, buy games, you have Ultra Games. If you want to have your socials, we'll get to that at some point. We'll explain a bit more about that. But there's some really cool social features upcoming as well. You have also, the wallet. So when you join the platform, you don't need to understand what's a blockchain. You don't need to know what's a passphrase. You don't need to understand gas fees or, you need a token to do that.
Yeah, right.
What do you mean I need a token? Oh yeah, you need a token in exchange, register, KYC, buy. Okay.
Right.
No thanks. So we skipped all that. So we created a lot of technology around this to be able to provide a seamless experience for the users. So when they join the platform, they register the same way as they would do on Steam, and then they get their wallet, which is non-custodial. So you actually own your key, even we can help you recover them, but we cannot recover them ourselves.
Right.
So there's a very neat tech behind that we are patenting. And then, you're up and running. You can buy games using fiat currency if you want. We manage the whole process behind, buy on exchange the US with the fiat money you have. And then we use this US to give to the game devs or the promoters or influencers or whatnot. So everything is hidden from the users, but they just get the benefit of it. And once they play the game, since they already have the wallet, they can also earn NFTs from some of those games, because there is an NFT inventory as part of the wallet. So by default, you can receive and see them, and you can also put them on sale. And so once you put them on sale, there's a very neat aspect, because here we spoke about the blockchain. It's very fast. There is no transaction fee. There's so many reasons why it's great for the games industry. But one of the key features as well is the fact those NFTs are not sold like on custodial platform. Like imagine right now if you go on OpenSea, you give them your NFT, they sell it for you. Pray that everything works as expected. and you cannot sell it elsewhere, right? It's there.
Right.
On Ultra, if I take the same NFT, which is on Ethereum, Polygon, Solana, whatnot, I teleport it to Ultra. If I put it on sale, I put it on sale myself at a specific price, specific condition. That's it. And OpenSea, you on your website, me on my website, you as an influencer, somebody is like a community member, can all put it on sale at the same time. You just read the blockchain, say, okay, this is the price, this is the thing, I put it on sale. And anybody can buy it from anywhere at the same time.
I
So
love
it can
that.
be on dozens of platforms at the same time on sale. So obviously, you have much more chance for it to be sold, right?
Yeah.
So that's just this is just a tiny example of the features of the NFT standard that we developed, which is the marketplace within the NFT standard.
Yeah.
But that's just a tiny part. We have, like, as I mentioned, geofencing, revenue split automatically done, updatable content, and yeah, so on and so forth.
It's awesome. And this will all also play into the unique marketplace, correct?
Yep, unique marketplace is simply. I mean, it's not that easy, of course, because it has to be well designed.
Right.
But the big idea here is that you can actually get the. We actually just read the blockchain. We read the blockchain, we display the items, and then that's it. So you could do your own marketplace as well, very simply. You just read our blockchain with the tools we provide, and then you can put the NFTs on sale as well and take the commission.
Got it. That is awesome.
So it's anybody can do the same blockchain, so the same marketplace, and but in a same specific way, or select the content they want to show. Oh, I only want to show the visual items, for example. Sure, of this specific game. So anybody can actually leverage that at the same time. So the
Yeah, this is
marketplace is primary sale, but also secondary market, of course.
got it. Okay. No, this is amazing to just hear. Even me, like I feel like I've done all the public research on the project as possible, but just hearing the in depth, like the intricacies of how y'all want to make it so user friendly and so interoperable for just the ease of use, the ease to get involved, and like you said, that technology to have full control over your NFT. I absolutely love it. So that kind of checks off the box for ultra unique NFTs because that info you just gave us there is really, I mean, like if y'all integrate that successfully, that can really change the way that things are done as far as NFT transactions and kind of how you distribute that. So I absolutely love that. And then I also wanted to talk a little bit about and we'll get to the tournament platform as one of the last things because I think that's super exciting because it's an undercapitalized market right now, and I think both of us talked about that before the show. But let's talk about the exclusive games coming to the platform, right? So we know the developer incentives y'all have provided throughout the space and to get some developers and publishers to bring games onto the on board with Ultra. But let's talk about the exclusive sports game and the exclusive first-person shooter. So, from what I had heard, at least, it seems like y'all have a studio exclusively partnered with you to launch these games on your platform. Is that correct?
Yeah, no, exactly. So there are a few games that we are working on. Here we spoke about those two games, which is basically a sports game. I can't really go into the details because it's unannounced.
Of course.
But basically, the people who work on this have a very deep experience making only solely sports game. That's what they do all day since 20 years. So we find the right studio because we've been in the space for a very long time, and we know most of the studios out there today. And so we just discuss with them, say, hey, this is the right one. So let's make a deal with them. And usually we do more than a game. Right now you see a lot, of games popping up, which is amazing. But it's one-shot game, right? So you invest in a game, you're excited by the game. The game is released, it works, doesn't work. It's still a form of art. So you never know if it's really gonna work. Obviously, if you take the right team behind it, you have much more chance to get it to success, right?
Absolutely.
And so that's what we did. But at the same time, we didn't invest in a single game. We know this sports studio is making a first game, but already has two other games in the pipe that we know how we're going to design after based on the right timing of the right events and everything. And that's the same for the FPS game. So the FPS game is the second one. It's a studio which has amazing, experience making FPS. So they worked on games like Cyberpunk, Halo Infinite, World of Warcraft, Diablo. There's so many. I
Yeah.
mean, of the big ones, right? And yeah, the thing is that we don't help them, to make so amazing play to earn games. We help them to make a series of games which they can reapply the same type of mechanics in the future. So we know that's the way we work. So we work directly with the studio, and then we work on multiple titles. So that's something we are replicating now, getting more and more studios involved with them directly, where we get the studio to work on exclusive games. So it's a little bit like, for Xbox or Nintendo, you buy the console because you want to play Zelda or Mario.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you buy it, not because it's pretty. It's the same with Ultra, actually, because those exclusive games are bringing people to play on our platform directly,
Yeah.
which is just
Halo with
one
Xbox.
angle.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's just one user acquisition mechanic for us as well, because we have tournament platform. People come from marketplace. If there's some exclusive NFTs, they could come from the games because they just want to buy games cheaper, or somebody promoted the game because it was incentivized to them to purchase it on Ultra, or they come because they want to play this specific game which is only available on Ultra. Or they saw this NFT on somebody else's marketplace, which is tied to a game on Ultra. Oh, actually, oh, cool. I got this NFT from watching a stream. What is it? Oh, you have to go on Ultra to redeem it? Sure, I'm on. Oh, okay,
Right.
now you can download the game and use this NFT or resell it. Okay, cool. There's so many hooks to bring people to the platform. And then the fact we have this wide ecosystem is also amazing to retain the players and the users as part of it, because their journey isn't stopping after purchasing the game. They earn the NFTs, they can participate to the tournament, they can chat with friends, they can watch the live stream, they can trade, they can, there's many new things we're also going to announce. We
Yeah, of
can't go
course.
through everything,
It's very early. Yeah, it's very
but
early.
it's a large ecosystem, to say
No,
the
that's
least.
awesome to hear. And I love the vision there, like you said, we're not just it's not going to be one exclusive game, right? Like you said, like the sports studio has a couple games in the pipe. And I love that. Like the long-term vision here. And if you build out a catalog of solid exclusives, then you create that obviously exclusive access that Ultra provides over every other platform. And then not to mention a lot of websites, they track the stats of keeping users on the website. So even if you go from one game to another, right now in the state of crypto games, or even in just Web3 in general, you have to leave that website and go to a completely different website to place different games right now
Yeah.
on in crypto, just in general. And what your platform will provide is that option where, oh, this game's not fun, click out of the game, but you're still within the Ultra app, and you just browse right over to your library, click. Here's the game I want to play. Let's just say you want to play Severed Steel, that shooter that y'all are coming out with, and you click and you load it up. I think that that's just amazing because you're going to keep people hooked into your platform. And then exclusive games are just a deeper hook.
No, but that's totally right, and that builds a lot into what people. So a lot of people have different version of what's a metaverse and everything, right?
Yeah,
Everything.
of course.
I think it that way. You think it that way, sure. But the way we see it is really the fact you have this experience that you build over time. Whatever you're doing is actually contributing to this big, larger experience, which is building up your persona, so your digital identity in a sense. So whether you're playing this game and you earn some achievements, that builds up to your digital identity because you did that, right? Or
Right.
you
It's part of your
purchased this many
achievements.
games, yeah. Or you've been like reviewing some games and people thought your opinion was, accurate.
More
Uh,
valuable. Yeah, more accurate.
exactly. So that builds up your still your persona, your reputation. You purchase a lot of games, you're definitely not a bot, otherwise you wouldn't spend that much money.
Correct.
So you have all this kind of interaction, like even a tournament platform. If you participate and you win some large tournaments, it builds up still in your persona. Whatever you own in your NFT inventory is still part of this. So once you join a game, you bring everything you all experience to this game with your NFT inventory, whatever you did in the past. So this game developer or company can create an experience that makes more sense to you
Yep.
because okay, this is who you actually are. Now we know in the real world who you are, but usually when I meet you in the street, I have no idea what you actually do.
Right.
Here in Web3, you have access to all these different things, that people created, that you can create as well. And at the same time, your identity is portable, but they still don't know who you are like in real life. So I mean, no problem. I mean,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
don't have a risk of somebody knocking at your door or whatnot.
Right.
So this is really what we think more about the metaverse. The fact you build up your experience, whatever you do is contributing to this experience, and it doesn't reset after you just quit the game.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. And the last thing I want to get into, since we're a little over 30 minutes, and I don't want to keep you too long. I know it's evening where you are, and I feel like this has been amazing info. Like just the stuff, because on the surface level, I've talked about a lot of this stuff, but then when they're hearing the intricacies, I can just see in the chat like we have had so many people like I did not know that, or this was new to me. So thank you so much for all the alpha you're dropping today for sure. But let's talk about the tournament platform. Last thing before we kind of just wrap it up. And I think that this is an undercapitalized segment in the blockchain and in Web3 so far. And obviously, there's not a lot of games out there that are tournament worthy, like at too much of a level. A lot of games right now are turn based. We're really early, but explain where y'all see esports potentially in Web3, right? So you want to build out this tournament platform, decentralized tournaments, and I assume it'll work with all the different games, the variation of games on the Ultra platform. Where do y'all see esports fitting into the Web3 crypto gaming narrative? And then where does y'all's tournament platform come into play?
Yeah, I would say right now the esports is a bit segmented uh, from my point of view. So you really have participate there, but it's just you, your people, your friends, and that's it. And it doesn't really talk to the rest of the world at the same time. Esports is growing. Like brands are diehard fans of esports because they know
Yeah.
that people watching esports and playing esports are valuable people. Like in terms of, okay, this is like a good user with money, with this and that. So they love it. So a lot of brands are ready to spend a lot of money there to grow this ecosystem and to promote their content to those people. So which means there is a lot of potential for creating very big tournaments that reward the users, reward the creators, the game developers. And the fact that you bring that on the blockchain, you can actually have much more interoperability
Yeah.
between those tournaments and the rest of the world, in a sense. Because you can very well be participating to a tournament. The first 20 people receive an NFT, which is actually, it can be like, or it can just be virtual item for this game that it can only get when you participate to the tournament. So obviously you want to be part of it because it will be very valuable because it's very rare, and NFT can prove that, like the blockchain technology behind it.
Right.
But at the same time, it can be something tied to the real world. It could actually be an NFT that you can use, and when you're gonna go to GDC, to a big conference, you're gonna get specific access to a specific party only for the people who have this kind of access that from NFTs. So you can basically bring your brand, so put the spotlight on your brands much further.
Yeah.
Because whatever you own and you get within this tournament can actually be used outside of these tournaments. So you get much more value for the money you spent for the brands, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely it
Um,
does.
and you also have, the live streaming angle. When you cross, because right now you have really like tournament platform, live streaming platform, which are separated, right? What you can actually have is somebody live streaming a tournament can have a deal with the brand or the sponsor of this specific tournament. Right now it's complicated. You have to sign contracts and everything. And hope people will, both legal team will figure it out,
Of
which is
course. Yeah.
hard. And here the big difference, actually, they can make some deals and have somebody, okay, sure, I'm giving away like 100 game copies as part of NFTs, which are automatically given away to specific list of streamers. And those one, if somebody watch their stream, watch the tournament played, they actually can receive those NFTs. So there is a sort of, cross collaboration between influencers, tournament platforms, live streaming at the same time, and the brands in a sort of seamless way. So it sounds like complicated because it is, but with the technology, it becomes very simple. It's just like, oh, actually, yeah, I could do that. Why wouldn't I create this sort of fire that is available only in 100 items
Right.
forever? And anybody watching my tournament have a chance to get it. Okay, then everybody gonna watch it. So everybody gonna see the sponsor at the same time. So much more value for him too. It's so much more value for the viewers. So much more value for the players because you can increase the price pool then because there is more. You know what I mean? It's sort
Absolutely.
of cross-pollinating each other.
Yes.
And everything you do within this tournament platform goes back to the metaverse discussion we just had, and building your digital persona. Oh, I participated there. I won this. I was this level, and so now I'm looking to build a team. I have a cool sponsor. I want to do that. I'm gonna check people. Okay, oh, this guy looks really good. He played a lot of these games. He's doing that. He had these achievements. He's actually in these regions. He won all these tournaments. So I start to understand better what's the person behind. Okay, we're gonna propose that person a contract to work as an esports pro player.
Right.
So it's really a tournament platform that's also designed to get into this mindset that you start as a player, casual. You really love gaming, but you can actually become a pro player. And that's also the angle for a tournament platform, that we want this kind of ramp up of, again, it goes a bit back to the Web3 idea that you can participate and benefit from the ecosystem at the same time.
Right.
And it's the same here. You basically play, you enjoy the game, you learn, you grow, you become pro player. Maybe you get sponsors because they see that you were really, on the live stream, you are really like exciting for people at the same time. Like, okay, there you go, my life's there. I'm playing on Ultra. I'm doing this now, and that brings me joy and fun, and at the same time, I can earn my money. So.
And y'all already have with your y'all have a partnership with Theta, and y'all already have an integration, right, for streaming on the app, on the early stages of the Ultra app, correct?
Yep. Yeah, totally. Right now, you can already see Theta. We didn't activate the single sign-on that we developed, but we will soon. So which means once you join Ultra, you don't need to register on Theta. You by default register, and that's the same for any sort of application. So you skip all this annoying part. And we get, as I mentioned, the tournament platform is also bound to be released this year as well.
Awesome.
And yeah, this tournament is done with some partners. It's not us doing it only.
Of course.
It's a joint venture with another company. They already have like 10 million plus monthly active PC gamers.
Okay.
That should be efficient.
Yeah, that should definitely be efficient. Well, yeah, and like I said, I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I can tell, and once again, the chat is absolutely loving the info that you dropped today. Just to leave us, is there anything you want to leave anyone to maybe look out for in 2022? Is there something maybe around the corner for Ultra that they should keep their eyes on?
Yeah, I would say everything you see here is part of the roadmap for this year. The idea is, already during the summer, you will start to see some fun, I think. Some fun things popping up. So, yeah.
It's a good time to have fun in the summer.
Right? We're already dropping, publishers, announcements and everything. And we will soon be able to speak more about, the tournament platform, the exclusive games, everything else that is discussed here. But yeah, I think summer, even winter will be fun. You can have lots of fun the whole year, hopefully.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, we'll wrap it up here, guys. So if you enjoyed the video, as always, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more. And be sure to follow Ultra on Twitter. I believe it's ultra_IO. They're releasing all their developments there. And I believe today they just partnered with another new gaming publisher. And as I always say, they're always just pushing the agenda. And as you hear, they're building an all-encompassing gaming ecosystem, which I really love. You don't have to leave the platform to get all your needs here, which is a problem in the current state of crypto games. Ultra is the all-in-one stop for everything from a developer to a player. It's got the full stack. So check out everything that Ultra has going on. I am going to get out of here. Nicolas, thank you so much for joining us on today's show. And as I said, like the video and subscribe. We will be back tomorrow, guys. Play well, my friends.
Mm-hmm.